You ever get that feeling, like seeing a missing person flyer, and it just kind of stops you? Even if you don't know them, there's this weight to it. That's what we're getting into today, the story of Yingying Zhang. A lot of you requested this deep dive, and honestly, it stuck with me too.
It's one of those cases, just tragic, you know?
Totally. Young woman, comes to a whole new country, big dreams,
Yeah.
and then gone.
But it's bigger than just the mystery, right? The way it impacted things, way beyond one campus.
Exactly. It's like a ripple effect,
Yeah.
which is why we wanted to go in depth. So, Yingying Zhang.
She represented something, I think, that hope, ambition, how it feels to be vulnerable when you're far from home, resonated with a lot of people.
Absolutely. Okay, so got to set the scene. June 9th, 2017, University of Illinois. Yingying's supposed to be signing a lease, starting this whole new chapter.
Right, exciting time, except she vanishes.
Vanishes is almost the right word. Like she just disappears off the face of the earth.
She's running behind that day, misses her bus, and this is the part that always gets me. There's security footage. She's getting into a car, black Saturn Astra, totally ordinary moment, except it's the last time anyone sees her.
It's like that reminder. Could be any of us. On camera 1 minute, and then gone. What happens next is that shift, normal life to this frantic search.
Her boyfriend, her friends, they knew right away something was wrong. Yingying, she wasn't the type to just drop off the radar.
And then it just escalates. Local police, sure, but you were saying the FBI gets involved. Even the Chinese consulate. This wasn't just a missing person anymore.
Oh, no. International spotlight. Everyone's looking for this black Saturn Astra. And eventually, they get a lead. It's traced back to a former PhD student at the university, a guy named Brent Christensen.
See, that's what gets me about true crime. It's both fascinating and unsettling.
Yeah.
Like, could I have passed this guy on the street? Been in the same room?
It's that whole banality of evil thing. You expect monsters to look a certain way, not be, well, at first glance anyway, he seemed normal, quiet, unassuming. But the more they dug into Christensen, a different story emerged.
Okay, so let's get into that.
Yeah.
What took him from person of interest to prime suspect?
His online activity, big red flag. We're not talking casual true crime fan here. This was deep dives into websites about serial killers, abductions, dark stuff.
So not just morbid curiosity. This was like research.
Exactly. And remember how we said her disappearance felt planned? Investigators found evidence Christensen had been thinking about an abduction for a while. He even went to a vigil for Yingying.
Wait, seriously? A vigil for the woman he allegedly abducted?
With his girlfriend, no less.
Whoa. Okay, that is cold. Calculated, even.
Like he was getting off on the risk. Being that close to the investigation, that says a lot.
So you've got this whole web of suspicion, but how do they actually get him?
Well, that's where his arrogance and a good dose of bravery on someone else's part comes in. Remember the girlfriend? He confesses to her.
No way.
Yep. And she goes straight to the FBI. They wire her up.
She's wearing a wire, knowing what this guy is capable of.
Incredibly brave. And it works. They get him on tape confessing to everything, the kidnapping, taking Yingying back to his apartment and killing her.
He confesses. So case closed, right?
That's where it gets even tougher, honestly.
Sure.
He admits to the crime, but
There's always a but, right?
he never says where her body is.
Oh, man. Just awful. To confess to the act, but deny the family that closure, just being able to lay her to rest.
Exactly. It's almost crueler in a way.
I can only imagine. In this case, it was huge in the media, right?
Yeah.
Did that pressure the spotlight? Do you think it played a role at all?
It's hard to say what goes on in someone's mind like that. But the trial, yeah, that was another media frenzy. June 2019, prosecution lays it all out. The footage, his online history, those recordings from his girlfriend, damning stuff.
I remember following it back then. Everyone was glued to the news. What did the defense even say? Did they claim he was innocent?
Actually, no. They focused on his mental state, tried to paint him as this deeply troubled person. Goal was to avoid the death penalty.
So more like why he did it, not denying that he did it.
Exactly. But the prosecution, they hit back hard. This wasn't some spur-of-the-moment thing. This was premeditated. He lured her into that car, had a plan.
And through it all, Yingying's family is there, thousands of miles from home, having to relive this nightmare in court. Just wow.
Their strength through that whole thing. I don't know how they did it, frankly. And in the end, the jury's out for 8 hours. Christensen's found guilty. Kidnapping resulting in death. Lying to the FBI. Life in prison. No parole.
Some justice, I guess.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine any sentence feels like enough in a case like this.
It's that hollow victory, right? System worked, but this emptiness remains. And for Yingying's family, that search, it didn't end with the trial. They're still looking for her remains.
You mentioned earlier how this story, it went beyond just headlines. What was it about Yingying's case specifically that resonated with so many people?
Part of it's that fear, Someone is vanishing. It's primal. But with Yingying, it was more. She represented this universal hope, coming to a new place, chasing your dreams.
It's the contrast too, right? Just a normal day, gonna sign a lease, and then gone. Makes it feel like it could be anyone.
Right. And for other international students especially, it was like this wake-up call. That could be me. Campuses, they weren't just about learning anymore. They were potential danger zones.
That vulnerability of being far from home, like you said before, it really hit people hard. Did anything actually change, though, beyond just awareness?
Oh, yeah. Yingying's case, it became a catalyst. Universities, UVI included, they stepped up security big time. More cameras, better lighting on campus, expanded transportation options, so no one's walking alone at night if they don't have to.
So, concrete steps to make places physically safer. What about the support systems you mentioned earlier?
Huge shift there, too. More resources for international students, recognizing their unique needs, help adjusting to the culture, legal aid for visa issues, mental health services, but tailored to them.
It's like Yingying's case forced people to acknowledge this blind spot.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And it wasn't just institutions. Remember that outpouring of support, not just from the university, but people, all walks of life. The Chinese community especially, they rallied around Yingying's family.
Even in those dark times, that human compassion, it shines through.
It's a testament to that shared humanity. And Yingying's family. They could have retreated into their grief, which anyone would understand, but they chose to channel that pain into something extraordinary.
You're talking about the Yingying Zhang Foundation.
Yeah, imagine being in their shoes, losing a child, and having the strength to say, we're going to honor her by helping others. That's the heart of it.
Tell us more about the foundation. What's their mission? How do they operate?
So their mission is multifaceted. They advocate for international student safety. They provide scholarships, offer legal aid, mental health resources. It's really incredible.
So they're tackling all those vulnerabilities we talked about, but on a practical level, what kind of impact have they had so far?
It's remarkable, really. They've worked with universities to improve safety protocols. They've given out thousands of dollars in scholarships, offered legal guidance to students trying to navigate the U.S. immigration system, and they're even developing safety apps specifically for international students.
Wow. They've taken this horrible tragedy and truly turned it into a force for good. It's like they saw a gap and said, we're going to build a bridge.
And it's not just reacting. They're out there trying to proactively change the whole system. That's what's so powerful.
Yeah. You don't always see that. It'd be easy to get stuck in the grief, the anger, but they're like, no, we're going to make something good from this.
And that's what needs to happen because it's not just one case, right? It's a whole bunch of things. How we treat international students, cultural understanding, just responsibility, in a world that's so connected.
It makes you think, what can I do? Like someone listening right now, maybe they're feeling this story, wanting to help. Where do they even start?
That's the thing, and it's us about wanting to help. Learn more about the Yingying Zhang Foundation. Their website's got tons of info, website redacted. Even just talking about this stuff, spreading awareness, that matters.
Getting the word out. These students, they come here contributing so much. The least we can do is make sure they're safe.
100%. Advocate for better policies, support organizations like the Foundation, turn that empathy into something real.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I feel like we've covered a lot. Yingying's story, the investigation, the trial.
Yeah.
It's heavy stuff. But there's this thread of hope.
Oh, absolutely. Yingying's legacy, it's not just in how she's remembered, but in what's being done now to stop this happening again.
Man, that's powerful. It's one thing to hear about these cases, but doing this deep dive, you get a whole new understanding.
It becomes real, doesn't it? Not just a headline, but a life. The resilience, the potential for good, even after something so awful, it makes you think.
It really does. And to everyone listening, thank you for joining us for this deep dive. It's tough, but important. We'll have links in the show notes, ways to get involved, support the Yingying Zhang Foundation, all that. Until next time, take care.
If you enjoyed this video and want to dive deeper into more cases like this one, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to like the video if you found the story compelling, and share it with your friends and family who might be interested in true crime and mysteries. By subscribing, you'll stay up to date with all our latest content and join a growing community of curious minds exploring the most fascinating cases. Click the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Your support means everything.